Hi there everybody, it's UK independent demonstrator Halsey here from slimandstylish.com. Thank you for joining me today. Today I have this cute little card for you featuring Squirt. I name all of the animals in my sets and this one's called Squirt because I have a tortoise called Squirt, so that's him. And the set is Back on Your Feet, which is a cling stamp set from Stampin' Up, and it's carrying over into the next catalogue, so we get this for another year, and it's a great set. I love it, mainly because it has got a tortoise in. I have a dog, I have a tortoise and a bird, so anything that comes out with a dog, a tortoise or bird in is purchased because I'm one of those crazy animal ladies. Crazy-ish animal ladies. So let's get started and show you how to make this card. As I said, I'm using Squirt, he's there. I'm also using Sigh and Hope You're Back on Your Feet Soon, so that's that one. So I'm just going to pop these onto some blocks. Normally I've done this before the video, but today I'm in a disorganised mood. Honestly, very disorganised. Don't think I'm coping very well with working from home as well as crafting from home because they both use the same desk. I clear away on the Monday to start work and have my two monitors up here and my keyboard here, and then when it comes to the weekend I'm crafting. I get all my crafty stuff back out, put my work stuff away, but what happens on a Saturday, I find I'm missing stuff that I've put away, and on a Monday I find I'm missing work stuff that I've put away, so I get very disjointed. So I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock. This is 9.5 centimetres by 13.8 centimetres. And then I have some Mossy Meadow, which is 10 centimetres by 14.25 centimetres, so that it fits on quite nicely like that. And then I have my thick Whisper White cardstock here, which is a piece of A4 paper cut in half and scored in half. I say paper, it's cardstock. It's our lovely thick one, which is just amazing. I always use the thin Whisper White for stamping, blending, colouring, everything like that, and the thick one for our card bases. So it should layer up quite nicely like that on the card. Okay, I'm just going to pop those two off to the side, and I'm just going to do the pieces in the front first. So I've got a piece of scrap Whisper White, and I'm using 4 dies on this card. So I have the stitched circle. This is the largest but one, so there is a slightly larger one. And I have one from the layering circles, which is a scallop circle, which just goes around the edge of that, so it will sit like that. I am also then using the stitched rectangles. And I have this one here, which I think is the last but one smallest. And then I'm back to my stitched shapes, and I've got the smallest square. So those are from stitched shapes, stitched rectangles and the layering circles. So I'm using every die set going today, but I'm just going to run them through the Big Shot. I've got the Big Shot on the table just to the side of me because it doesn't really fit on the desk to crank through while I'm using it, so I'm just actually going to turn around and quickly pop those through. This one here, that's Mossy Meadow. Don't put that one through your Whisper White. Well, you can do, but it's a waste of Whisper White. Just running those two through first because they fit on that scrap piece. Quite often I like to stamp and then die cut out, but for this project I actually die cut out first and then stamped. It doesn't really matter. It matters if your sentiment or your image goes off what you're die cutting, because then you're going to want to stamp it first and then die cut it so you can see which bits you're keeping and which bits you're losing. But for this project it doesn't really matter. I've just got another piece of scrap, so I'm just going to run that back. If you're doing rectangles or squares, I find it a lot easier when going through the Big Shot to run it sideways. Let me show you what I mean. So I find it easier if I don't have it straight on there and I just have it at an edge. I find if you have it straight, so if you put that on straight, it's a lot for it to go over. If you just put it at an edge, it runs a lot smoother. Just a little tip. I pass on these occasionally because I've done everything wrong. So I'm able to then give tips on how to do it right, because I've always got them wrong somewhere along the line. So there we go, those are those 3. For this one, I'm going to actually use my base bit. So this is the bit that's going to be hidden. So I'm actually just going to pop this in the middle and cut it out, because no one will ever know, and I'm thrifty and I like to save cardstock. So I try not to waste, and I hate having scraps sitting around, because you never know when you're next going to use a Mossy Meadow card. Use the scraps, so you might as well just do that. Then once you put your layer on it, you're really not going to see it. So there's that bit. Okay, so I'm playing with these bits first, and I've got my Memento ink pad, and I'm going to stamp Squirt first. Squirt is actually being completely spoilt at the moment, because at the moment we're having quite nice weather. So Squirt lives in a vivarium in the lounge, but in the nice weather we have like a rabbit run, and we put him in that in the garden. We would put him loose in the garden, but he moves really quick. You know when people say tortoises go slowly? They do not, they go quick, especially if you're not looking. And we lose him. So we've put him in, it's quite a large rabbit run, but at least we know that he's somewhere in there. And he totters around in the garden on the nice sunny days. Not when it's raining, we get a lot of rain, he comes in then. But on the nice days, he goes and plays in the garden. So he's done that every day this week. And there's lots of dandelions out at the moment, and dandelions are his favourite food. Normally we feed him lettuce and strawberries and things like that from the supermarket, but dandelions are his love. So I've got the Mossy Meadow blends first. So because dandelions are out, every time we walk the dog we're bringing him back loads of dandelions, so it's very spoilt at the moment. Going around his shell, and I'm just doing the edges in the dark Mossy Meadow. This is the inside bit of his shell. I will pick it up once I've done this bit and just show you where I've coloured. The dog is totally confused at having a tortoise. Squirt's now 7. No, he's not. He's older than that. I completely lie. He had a birthday the day. He's a lot older than 7. I've been back at home 7 years is what I mean. So he's been around dogs for 7 years, because I never used to have a dog in my flat where I used to live. Noble, however, is only 4, and he's getting used to the tortoise now, but he's still, sorry, that's the dark, coming in with the light now, but he's still unsure. You know, you'll look at him. Noble's really soft, he couldn't hurt a fly. Squirt on the other hand is really quite, he's a bit thick-shelled, shall we say, and I think he petrifies the dog. So Noble will have a play, he'll walk up and have a sniff and be like, who are you? Squirt will stick his head out, and then that's the dog completely just scared off and stays away then. Quite cute, really. So that's what I'm doing with the dark light and dark Mossy Meadow. This one's a light one. Now playing with the light and dark soft sea foam. So that's for his head, his body, and around the outside of his shell. And I'm doing the same with the dark. I'm going to do around the sides where the shading is, and then I'm going to come over with the light and colour all the rest in. We also have the bird. We have a zebra finch, and the zebra finch is inherited, I suppose. I bought 2 zebra finches for my nan a couple of years ago. She's got she's got very, very bad dementia now. She was having the onset of it when I first bought the birds, and she used to really enjoy just sitting there and nattering to them. She lived on her own, so it was company for her around the house. She called them gin and tonic, which I always thought was like a very rock star nan move, that. But she went into a home last year, and she's not took the birds with her. And one of them's still with us. So Gin is sitting downstairs, and he twerps away all the time. He's quite cute actually. I never thought of having a bird, but he is really sweet. So that's his outer shell done. And crumb cake, dark crumb cake and the light crumb cake for the darker bits on his shell. So again, I'm just doing the shaded bit in the dark and the rest of it in the light. I think everyone thinks we've got alcohol problems when we say that the bird's called gin, but it tickled me that Nan called them gin and tonic. I thought it was hilarious. And really is a rock star name. I went with Noble for the dog, Squirt for the tortoise, and there was Nan naming hers after cocktails. Loved it. So, there's his shell, and there's Squirt all done, the size done, and the Hope You're Back on Your Feet. So I'm just going to stick him onto his scallop, and he just about fits. It's just a slight bit around, which I think is quite nice. I like a little bit of colour detail. So stick that quickly. And now I'm just going to bring in my backing sheet to work out where he's going to go. So he's going to go about there. So I'm going to do the same sort of layout, but this helps me work out where I'm going to do my shading. So I've shaded Mossy Meadow on the back here. So I'm just going to move him down a bit to know that that's... Oh, I turned it off instead of turning it on. That's roughly where he's going to be, that's roughly where that's going to be, and that's roughly where that's going to be. So I know that if I start here and work my way out, I will be roughly in the right place. I've got my dauber, my Mossy Meadow ink pad. I've also got some Scrap Whisper White. I like having Scrap Whisper White around when I'm playing with a dauber so that I can test my dauber off onto the Scrap Whisper White rather than on my card. Not that it matters here because I do know this bit's going to be hidden. So I'm going to start on the hidden bit and work my way out to where we're going to see it. And I'm sorry, I know this means that you can't see all of it because my hand's in the way. So I do apologise. And that ugly bit in the middle, you are not going to see because it's going to be totally covered. So I'm just going out where I think the light bits will be. Let me just check. There we go. Put a little bit more on that one. I put a bit more out here, so I'm just going to do exactly the same. I'm just going to bring it out a little bit more. I'm just going to pop a bit more down the bottom here as well. There we go. Oh. I've popped some ribbon on. So this is a trick that you will have seen me do hundreds of times using the Whisper White ribbon with the little silver thread through it. I'm just going to cut this down so it's just over the size of my card, about there. And I'm using the light Mossy Meadow, the other end, the brush end. I'm just going to colour that in. Like that. And then I also want two little strips. So here I've just got two little strips that I've played with. Where did I put my ribbon? So you want to cut it about sort of that long, and then you really just want to slant it in the middle, and that way it will fit quite nicely like that when you put it together. And I'm just going to colour those in as well. Don't have to go all the way to the end on this because that bit there is going to be hidden behind your sentiment. There we go. Bring my card back in. So if my tortoises go in there, I'm going to pop some adhesive onto my ribbon. And stick it just underneath where the tortoise is going. Like that, pop some adhesive here. So I can get the tail out. And then start layering everything up. So he's going on flat. I'm just going to stick him on with some adhesive. Make sure you've covered your ink mark at the top. This one here is going on with a couple of dimensionals. It's going on with 3 dimensionals, I think. Really pop it up. There's nothing worse than having a big feature one and then having it flat in the middle, especially if you're going to pop it through the post. So where was my pen mark? Just there. Hope you're back on your feet soon. And then for the sigh, let's pop a couple at the top and towards the middle. And balance that on. Cute. Pop a bit of adhesive on and stick it to your mossy meadow that's got a nice big hole in it now, but we know it makes sense. Yeah. No one's going to know when it's put onto the card. That's my thing. If people were going to see or people were going to know, then obviously you don't want to shirk. But if people aren't going to see that, and they're not when it's going onto a card back, it just makes sense to take the card from there. And stick that onto your card base. And there is Squirt's card. I think it's really cute. If you like this set, it's called Back on Your Feet. You can purchase it from my store. So you go to slimandstylish.com. Then when you're on there, if you go to the header and click buy, it will take you straight to my store and you can purchase Back on Your Feet, Mossy Meadow, or any of the dies from there. Do use my hostess code because I then send you a little thank you gift as a thank you for shopping with me. If you've liked this video, please do subscribe and check back again soon. Bye everyone.